or my parents taught me to work hard, do well, put a load of money in your pension, retire, die. That's it, basically. So, and it was safe. You don't want to start your own business. Anyway, a year in, they all forced me, and I did. And then never looked back. 32, Tony Wynn. Yes, thank you very much. How many people were specific this week with regards to what they were looking for? Yes, 6. 6 out of 32. What we'd like to see, and what I've seen in other chapters, is 32 out of 32. We all want you to make loads of money, or as much money as you want to make. We want to help you get the referrals that you want to get. But we can only do that if you are specific each week. And when you're specific, it helps the room to really understand the companies that you want to be introduced to, and also the individuals. So when I started BNI, 24, maybe around October 2013, that was my mentor booklet from all those years ago. Now, my first year in BNI, I was an employee of another recruitment business. And within that first year of my BNI, all the business owners, I was the only employee in a room full of business owners. All the business owners said, "What are you doing? Why haven't you got your own business?" I said, "Oh, none of my friends and family have got their own business. That's a bit scary. I don't want to do that." I'm grown up to say, "Oh, my parents taught me to work hard, do well, put a load of money in your pension, retire, die." That's it, basically. So, and it was safe. You don't want to start your own business. Anyway, a year in, they all forced me, and I did. And then never looked back. So when I first joined the chapter, it was a core group of 35 members on the Wirral. And my mentor, Dave Bundy's our fab mentor here, sat me down and he said, "Right, here's your booklet. The trick is to give more than you get, and eventually you'll get more than you give." I don't know. Do you agree with that? Yeah. Gail? Do you agree with that, Milosh? Harry? Mm-hmm. Nathan? Tom? Indeed. Also, get into the green. I was like, "What's the green? What's the green?" They said, "There's a league table." Oh, well, I'm all about the league tables. I love a league table. If I'm not at the top, then I'm annoyed. So I will try and get to that top as soon as possible. I said, "What happens when you get to the green?" He said, "We'll wait and see what happens. You get to the green and wait and see. There's a special club that you get invited to." And BNI Med's side we were up to 660 members at one stage. So Green Club had about 180, 200 members across 35 chapters. So it was well worth going for green, basically. And he also said, "Bring as many visitors as you are able to within the first couple of weeks." So I wrote down lots of people that I knew that were in business, that were looking for business, and invited them all. So if I look at those, a lot of those people came and they joined, and yeah, amazing. You look back 10, 12 years. Some are now clients. Wow. Okay. So yeah, that really worked. And then he said, "And finally, your gain sheet." Now, the gain sheet that is available online doesn't go through specific. So it will cover G, which means goals. A, which means I, which means interest. N, which means Gareth. And S, skills. Yeah. But what it doesn't cover is another S. There should be a gains at the end, which covers specifics, which covers a list of your top or your last, or say your last, or say 10 invoices in the last 6 months, and who they were sent to from you, and a variety of different types of invoices. So if I look at the list of my top 13, I've got colleges, I've got legal companies, I've got wealth management businesses, manufacturing, engineering, energy, loss adjusters, more insurance, accountants. So they're my clients that I've invoiced last 10, 15 invoices. And on the right-hand side, so there's a list of clients that I've had over the last 12 months. And on the right-hand side is who we haven't got. Now, they are agency users. They spend money with recruiters. And we've got, probably back at the office in our CRM system, I think we've got about 8,500 businesses listed. But I'm not going to put 8,500 businesses and read them out every week. I'm just going to pick a certain client who we want to be introduced to and ask for that client for about 5, 6, 7 weeks. And more times than not, I get that referral. So when I was then doing the mentor role, I would be saying to the members, main thing is to get this done, get it sent before the meeting. Then you can both read each other's gain sheets and have referrals ready for that member before you even sit down. That's what I like doing because it saves me time. I refer about 20 people a week to each other. That doesn't include BNI. That includes BNI and all other networks and all other people that I'm associated with. I haven't got time to faff around and do research for you to find who you're looking for to get you the referrals that you want. So as a member of BNI, it's really important that you put the work in to research the people and the companies and the businesses that you want introductions to help the members get you the referrals that you want. Does that make sense? So, an example. So there was a solicitor in our branch, in our chapter, and he was asking for a lady who would be quite a big deal for him, and he asked for this person for 3 months, and we were like, oh my God, have you not got through to that person yet? Does she not know you exist yet? And he was like, no, I'm still looking. And I was at an event signing in, and this name was signed above my name. And I was like, oh my God. And I tapped this lady on the shoulder, and I was so excited, I was literally jumping up and down. She must have thought I was absolutely nuts. It wasn't anything to do with any BNI or anything. She was just there. I can't even remember. It might have been the World Chamber of Commerce. Anyway. So I said, oh my God, I know somebody that wants to speak to you. And she was like, oh, who is this woman? So I said, well, this is a person, and he wants to speak to you about this and this because of da, 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 da. And I knew the whole story because he told the story every week for like 3 months. Anyway, did the referral, got the introduction, and he thanked me for business about between 3 to 5K a month for the amount of business that brought him. I can't tell you who it is because I'm being recorded. We need to protect the confidentiality of the business. Can anybody else give me a really good example of when you've been specific and it worked? Anyone? Dave Bundy.
A story that I love to tell, Joe. I was in a BNI meeting. It wasn't a Chester chapter. It was a Chester chapter, but it wasn't this one. And someone asked for a referral for a specific person in a specific department, the United Nations in New York. Yeah, there's about 15 people sitting around this table. And when it came to the contribution section, somebody said to that person, I don't know the lady that you're asking for in that department, but I know this guy in this other department in the United Nations in New York. Would that be a good referral for you? And it was.
Oh! Amazing. The power of being specific. Specific, I always say, is terrific. And if you take only one thing from today, how long have I got left?
3-4 minutes.
Oh, so if you take one thing from today is that specific is terrific. And if we say it every week before we do our presentations, it might help you to be that specific, to do the research, to give us that ammunition. When I sit and listen to what everybody's speaking about and asking for, I'm like, oh, give me the names. It's so quick. Raymond asked for food, restaurants last week. He said, I'd like to speak to Paul Askew from art school. Well, I know Paul. So I just made that introduction. It was just done straight away. And then I know a Michelin star chef just up the road. And I spoke to him. I said, would you speak to Raymond? He said, no problem. So it was just so quick and easy. I can get on with my day and get those referrals done for Raymond. So every week I go through those specifics and I then do my BNI Power Hour. Do you do yours? It's great, isn't it? Love me BNI Power. Do that on a Friday morning. So I've got everybody's specifics and I go through each one and I go on to LinkedIn, see who I'm connected with, and then I make the effort to try and get those referrals. They may not come straight away. They may come 2, 3, 4 weeks down the line, but at least I've put the effort in and done something for my members, because I want to be able to get in the green as soon as possible. Because when I moved from Merseyside to here, I was back to 0 points in the traffic lights. I had to get up. I'm in the top amber. I think I've got 5 points to get into the green and then I'll be there again. But if you can take one thing away, it's to do the research now. You may think, well, all my clients are individuals and not businesses. How do we get that? Well, if you speak to me and Dave, we'll tell you how. Because it's not just the individuals that are going to pay your invoices. It's the people that are strategically entwined with those. Like for me, HR consultants. So I've got 10 HR strategic referral partners that regularly refer into me and my team. So HR people are really good. So I'll intersperse individual businesses with HR consultants who I don't, or other recruiters, because I do split fees with other recruiters as well. I'm always open to speaking to other recruiters. So you just never know. You just never know. But if you spend the time to do the work, do your gain sheet. I'll email my gain sheet to everybody so that you've got a copy and then you can just take all my bits out and put your own in. But if you do it like I do and email it before the meeting, number one, you look really professional and very organised. Number two, it helps the other member get the referrals that you want before the meeting, possibly, if the meeting goes well, the one-to-one goes well, and they like you and trust you and want to refer you. And then get your specifics done. Any questions?
Yes, how often do you update yours?
Thank you very much. Okay. So I've got a one-to-one this morning with you, haven't I? And Larry. So, what I always do is I put a picture of me on, because I don't know about you, but I'm old school on paper. So when I get back to my office, I take a picture of this, and I'm sure there's a quicker way of doing it, but I take a picture of it, and then file it away in my BNI one-to-one section in my Outlook. So when I think, God, what was Gareth looking for when I had that one-to-one with him a couple of weeks ago? I'm sure he was after. It's there, the notes are there. But sometimes you can get back to the office and it's really busy and this is under a load of paper and then it gets lost. So staple it, put your face on and put your updated date on. This is a working document for me, so it's open all the time on my computer. As I win a new client that's on the specific list, I take it off and then replace it with another one. So it's always updated. And there you go. Any other questions?
I have a specific story, because it happened in Chester BNI many, many years ago, when I asked for a particular name because he owned All American Hand Car Wash. And a solicitor in the room at the time stood up and said, "That's my next door neighbour." But But he didn't associate that I would ever need to speak to him.
Yeah.
He didn't know what he did. He didn't know, that he owned that business. But because I did a bit of research and went on Company's House and got the name, I got business. So.
Magical.
I've got a specific one.
Go on.
I was at a mate's house, or a client's house, and there was a photo of a girl on the side, and I said, she's there. And she said, you meet her? I said, I meet her. And I've been married to her for 39 years.
Last one, Milosh.
It's not a question, but in terms of specific, me and Brian had a one-to-one recently, and we decided to approach developers together. So I don't know if you guys know, but you can fire up Specificity, and we asked the question, can you give us 30 developers in a Chester, Wrexham region, and it fired up the full list. I'm going through the list right now, and we're going to be working together to approach them.
Perfect.
And it was very specific in the way it was structured as well. It really does work.
Amazing. I had one client that I asked for about 2 months, but it was worth it. They spent about 100 grand a year on recruiters, and I asked, and then one afternoon on a Friday at lunchtime, the HR manager rang me from that business and said, listen, I've got about 7 or 8 different people telling me to ring you. Another agency has let me down. I don't know what you're involved with. Is it some slimming group like BMI? Some slimming? BNI. So she said, anyway, she said, this agency has let me down. You've got 2 hours to shine, basically. It's PA to the chief exec. It starts on Monday, 6-month contract. So we put it out on social media. We went to our database, emailed our database, messaged our database, and within 10 minutes, another BNI member rang me and said, my girlfriend's sister is just getting off a plane from Paris, where she's been a PA. She's able to start on Monday. She's coming into Hamilton Square, where our offices were. So, to cut a long story short, she started on the Monday. That was a BNI member getting me the business, and then another BNI member getting me the candidate. And all we did is walk them into the company. And with that business, we did 60 grand that year. So the powers are specific. I can't say it enough. So let's hope that next week you go from 6 up to a higher number. Maybe 32 out of 32. Specific is?
Terrific.
Thank you very much.